You ever have a time where you think your guardian angel might have taken some time off and then you realize, nope, he's still there? We're going to be leaving, or supposed to be, in about 3 days to go on a 1,000-mile round trip towing camper, boat, all sorts of crap. And the friends of ours that I borrowed a tractor from asked if I needed any more, so I brought it back to them. 1.5 miles from the house, I stopped to refill the aux tank, and I smelled brakes. It's like, wow, somebody's really burning their brakes. Then I looked towards the front of the car and saw the smoke and realized it was me. Oh, for crying out loud. 25,500 miles. It had literally just turned 500 when this brake caliper, or whatever the hell's going on here, stuck. So I limped it back home, and she's nice and hot. I don't know if you can still see that smoke, but it's good and hot. Everything else looks fine. So I'm gonna let this cool down for a bit. Jack it up, pop the wheel off. It smells like brakes. It doesn't sound like bearings. I didn't notice it at all for the whole round trip until I got to the last stop sign before I drove a quarter block to the gas station or a little bit, and then it's like, yeah, that's something. But Dodge, for the man who likes working on his own vehicles, because they'll keep you busy. Phew. All right. Well, we're gonna get this thing up on a jack stand and see what in the hell we got, if I can even figure out what's stuck. If it's just the caliper. Again, it doesn't have a lot of miles on it. Maybe it's from sitting. I've never had that happen to a vehicle from sitting. Well, maybe I have. I don't know. I've only ever had this happen twice. On the 75 Toronado that I had back when I was a teenager, and then on that pile when I first got it, maybe a couple years after it. It did the same thing when I was going to work. So maybe it is from sitting. Who knows? Got the hood popped. Let's see what the brake fluid looks like. Kind of brown. Whew, this whole side of the car is hot. Well, I guess the whole underhood gets hot, but good Lord. Yeah. At least it ain't glowing like the one on the Ford was. I thought I was getting a flat, so I limped it a mile back to my work, and I got out of the car and I could see a glow from the left front reflecting off of the car next to me. So maybe the caliper just needs a rebuild. In there, we will take it apart and see what we got. All right, well, the wheel's off. She'll basically turn, but we have been sitting for probably a good 45 minutes as I ate dinner, and we're still 280 degrees, where the other side is 125. So there is a problem. And what I don't know is precisely what it is, because of course it's cooled off, so it's not dragging anymore. Pump up the brake a little bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, something is causing that caliper to not release. The first thing I'm going to do here is go get a little wrench, pop this, because I got a few options. Could be the caliper. It's most likely the caliper, let's be honest. Could be the caliper, could be this hose. And if I lock it up like that, crack this and it immediately loosens and starts moving, it's not the caliper, it's probably this hose. So that's what we're gonna do right now. All right, got the wrench on there. It's still pretty sticky. So we're gonna go pump it up a little bit more. Real sticky. Bleeder is open. It's come off a little bit, but that's not a problem. Caliper, he sees, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. So that's just fantastic. I don't know what do I want to do here. I probably can just clean it and re-O-ring it, but then I need O-rings. I'm gonna go see if anybody has one of these bad boys in stock. Pads, I'll see when I pull that side off. They look pretty stout yet. I don't think I cooked them too bad. So I'm gonna go see what a new caliper is gonna run me and what the availability is like. Back in a few. All right, well, I got my brake parts. We are now down to 166. The other side is 108, 103, 109. So it's getting cooler, still not good. And even though it's been sitting, it's still very difficult to turn. So I'm gonna go get my big honking brake and swap it out. You saw part of this last week on the rear of the Ford. Ain't much to it. The only one they had in stock comes with the bracket, but I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna, because it looks like the pads actually go in to the bracket, so that's good. If that's good, I can just pull these two bolts here in the back and this should pop out, leave the pads in there, slap the new one in, pump it up, press, bleed it out, and be done with it. So that's going to be pretty quick. It's not terribly hard. Like I said, a couple of bolts, caliper falls off, and then I can take this mess back and get my 40 bucks. So here we go. All right, that is what it is. Just a couple of little 16 millimeter bolts come out up here and it just pops off. And everything looks good. I hit it some brake clean. Spins nice and free. Flushing the brake fluid. And she's a little toasty. She's still pretty hot. I don't think that stuff's supposed to be black. Or maybe it is. Yeah, I guess it is. So, that little coating on there. And now we're gonna just pop this baby out of its bracket on the same 16 little bolts. Here and here. Yeah, and yeah. And slap her back in. Oh, nice. Came with a new cover. Okay, so onward. That thing holds near over a quart of fluid. That's impressive. So, that's interesting to know. Anyway, here it is back on. I used the original factory hardware because the bolts here on the new one were 17 instead of 16. And this was 14 instead of 15. and this was 10 millimeter instead of 7/16. So I wanted the sides to be as close as possible in case, hell, if I ever, I'll be the next guy doing it. In case we got to do this again. Let's hope not. But right now, the pads are backed off. I'm gonna go give it a stomp, and we'll have to get some, on a little bit of a hill, have to get some help. I got the old Hydro Boost running. There we go. Please don't be stuck. Well, they're a little sticky, but we're gonna have to take it for a ride and see after we finish doing the pump bleed. All right, well, we're done with that side. And we're about to take it for a drive. It feels, I jacked up the other side and spun it. It still feels a little more free than that one. But now's the acid test. Got my feel about the same. All right, now that we've pumped it a few times, we're just gonna run around the block quick and come back, take some temps. I don't feel it pulling, which I guess is a bonus. So we'll be back. All right, well, we're back. Wheels cool to the touch. That's a bonus. I've done a few pretty good stops from 40 miles an hour using a lot more brake than I normally do because of the engine brake. 145. And hard to see, but there, 107. So that one's a little warmer. So, but I guess, and depending on where I get it, 125. Nothing like the 350 and change it was earlier. Caliper itself is about 100 and, well, that's actually the back of the brake pad. Yeah, back of the brake pad is about 125, 120. If we can find it on this one. Yeah, it's actually, the pad's a little bit warmer on this side, 148. So that just could be because that one started 30 degrees higher because it was still warmer from the original Escapade. I think I may have it. So that was it. Something in that caliper stuck. And she became unfortunately unhappy after 25,500 miles in 3 years and 8 months. So, I don't know, maybe these brakes need more than 8,000 miles a year on them. But anyway. All right, well, I'm probably gonna take that disaster to work tomorrow. Just put 100 miles or so on it. Bring my temp gun, make sure everything's staying happy. And then I should be pretty good for our trip this weekend, I think. I gotta love it. Anyway, appreciate y'all for watching. I have a lot of these tools and stuff that I use around working on this on my Amazon affiliate. I do appreciate y'all that use that. It does help the channel a bit. Otherwise, hope you're all having a good day. And we'll talk to y'all next time. Take care.